Hey guys, today we're looking at how to fortify your mind by building an inner citadel inside of your head, so let's jump in. What is an inner citadel? This is a Stoic concept from Marcus Aurelius, and it expresses how no matter what life throws at you, even if you get treated unfairly, bullied or attacked, you can cultivate an indomitable spirit inside of you, a spirit which cannot be broken. This is your inner citadel. It's having the internal fortitude to keep strong during hard or difficult times. A citadel is a castle, a fortress, a stronghold. This is what you want your mind to become. The optimal mentality to have in life is one which is rock solid and impenetrable, so that when the hard times come, which is unfortunately inevitable in life, you have the strength to push through to the other side. The core idea of the inner citadel can be summarized by the following teaching of the famous Stoic Epictetus, which is that we cannot control what happens to us, we can only control how we respond. And by building an inner citadel inside your mind, you are moulding how you respond and therefore how you behave in the world. I can't think of a better way to illustrate this than the following quote from Jordan Peterson's book, 12 Rules for Life. Aim to be the person at your father's funeral that everyone, in their grief and misery, can rely on. What a noble image that is, that even on one of the darkest days of your life, having just lost your father, you have the mental fortitude to remain composed enough to help others through their pain. And I want to be clear, having an inner citadel doesn't mean that you can't be sad during your father's funeral, because that is a natural, healthy response. But it's about building resilience so that even during those painful times, you can be counted on to do what needs to be done, for yourself and for others. It's having the strength to keep striving forward. Sticks and stones. From a young age, I remember my parents and other adults saying, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." And since I'm the youngest of 4 siblings, I thought, what a cool idea. You're telling me that when my older brothers tease me and call me names, I don't have to experience any upset. That when someone at school takes the mick out of me, I can shrug it off like water off a duck's back. Despite the simplicity of this notion, when I adopted it as a kid, it gave me this kind of superpower where I was immune to the normal name calling that goes on at that age. But building an inner citadel takes this idea one step further. Sticks and stones may break your bones, that is definitely true, and having broken bones is far from ideal. But even then, you still have control over your mind. It's the one thing they can't touch. People can hurt you physically, or they can restrict you physically by throwing you in a prison cell or in a concentration camp, but only you have the sovereignty over your mind. This reminds me of an incredible story that I heard on Dr. Rangan Chatterjee's podcast, where he spoke to Dr. Edith Egger, who was born in 1927 and lived in Eastern Europe under Nazi occupation. Edith was taken to Auschwitz concentration camp at the age of 16 and survived what must have been a living hell. I mean, what mental strength must a person have to live through the pain and suffering of an experience like that? But, as Dr. Edith Egger says, no one can take away from you what you put in your own mind. Edith explained how she stopped perceiving herself as a prisoner and instead began to view the guards in Auschwitz as the real prisoners. She managed to turn hate into pity. She even describes the horrific ordeal as an opportunity, and by doing so, despite the fact that she was literally imprisoned, Edith liberated her mind. Edith had built an inner citadel which stood strong whilst the world around her was unimaginably dark. If that doesn't demonstrate the power of the mind, then I don't know what will. So, why is this helpful? I am an old man and have known a great many troubles, but most of them never happened. Mark Twain. I love this quote because it highlights how our brains are predisposed to think negatively. For our ancestors living a long time ago in the savannah, it was useful to assume the worst in situations. For example, if you heard a rustling in a bush nearby, it benefited you from an evolutionary standpoint to jump to the conclusion that there was a lion in that bush that was about to pounce on you. Objectively speaking, your life was probably in no danger at all. The rustling could have been caused by the wind or a small little herbivore. But by assuming that everything is hunky-dory, you're rolling the dice, and over the course of millennia, all of our optimistic ancestors died out. And this is why building an inner citadel is so important. It's a way to overpower your biological wiring so that you can view events objectively. This will help you to avoid emotionally jumping the gun and making assumptions which would cause you pain and misery. Because as Mark Twain pointed out, most of the things he worried about never happened, so any energy spent anxiously fretting over these things was a total waste of time. How to cultivate an inner citadel. There are multiple ways to cultivate this, but they all have a central theme, a common thread which runs through every single one. They are all difficult. because within the difficulty lies the key to building resilience. Here are just a handful of practices which can be used to cultivate your inner citadel. Cold showers, meditation, working out, fasting. Have you ever tried taking a cold shower or tried sitting down to meditate? They are quite different activities, but both require discipline. No one, and I mean no one, looks forward to taking an icy cold shower first thing in the day. I can't imagine many people get excited about the prospect of sitting cross-legged on the floor for 10 minutes, trying to stay relaxed whilst a constant stream of mental chatter tries to steal your focus. But if you do force yourself to complete these difficult habits every day, you are fortifying your inner citadel. When you're in the shower and that cold water hits you, every bone in your body starts telling you to get out. But by standing your ground, you're training your ability to conquer your mind. And that is the ultimate superpower, because everything that we experience in life is filtered through our mind. As John Milton said, and this is one of my favourite quotes, "The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven." So, perform difficult tasks or habits each and every day, and you will build the mental fortitude to combat anything that life can throw at you. And that's all from me, guys. Hopefully you found the video helpful. If you'd like to support the channel, then please smash the like button and hit subscribe. And of course, drop me a comment below. Let me know what you're going to do to cultivate your inner citadel. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.